What is up, YouTube? Hey, just want to do a quick review of the new Hyke and Byke Zion two-person tent that I ordered off of Amazon. I think it was right around $125. I'm coming from a Camp Dome 2 REI tent that just didn't hold up very well in the wind, and I was looking for something relatively the same size, two-person, but I also wanted something with a more open mesh top so that I could see the stars at night, since my current tent does not have that. So Hyke and Byke is one of those newer up-and-coming companies that I haven't seen too much about, and so I wanted to do a review for you guys just to give you an idea of what comes in the bag and what the tent looks like, and kind of breaking it down and see everything about it. So let's go ahead and take a dive in and see, kind of open up the bag and see what comes inside. So inside the bag of the Zion two-person tent, you're going to get your Rainfly, which is the orange piece here. You're also going to get your aluminum poles, and it's actually one pole that branches off. And then you'll also get these ultra lightweight aluminum stakes. These things are really nice. I mean, I know like some of the other main manufacturers that charge high dollar give these type of stakes for your tent, so that's kind of nice to have because it makes it a lot lighter. And then the Hyke and Byke has like a proprietary stake press. So instead of you gouging up your hands, you use this aluminum stake press, and it will actually make it a lot easier. You put the stake right there in that hole, in the inlet, and you just push down with your hand. So I'm excited to give that a shot. It also comes with a footprint, so that's a bonus. You usually have to pay extra for footprints, so it comes with a footprint. In addition, it comes with your guidelines that are reflective, a mesh carrying shelf, or mesh shelf that goes inside the tent, and then yeah, here's your tent on the bottom here. So I selected orange. There wasn't many options at the time when I ordered, but I do like orange. It kind of stands out a little bit so that people see that your tent is around there. In addition, I think they have green and blue and white. So I wanted the green, but it was sold out. But I definitely like the orange as well. It's nice and bright, and so yeah, let's go ahead and get it started and set this thing up. All right, guys. So I got the footprint laid down. We're gonna go ahead and set up the tent. But before I do that, I decided just to give you kind of an idea of the scenery I'm at right now. I wanted to set this up real time. We just had some rain come by. I think it might rain a little bit later tonight, around 2-3 in the morning, so that'll give a good idea of how the tent holds up in the rain. But I'm up here in the Four Peaks Wilderness. You can see Roosevelt Lake down there in the bottom, and up at the top there's Four Peaks right there. Zoom in so you can see that. So you know, in Arizona right now it's pretty hot down in the valley in Phoenix. It's about 105, and up here it's about 70, maybe 68. So you know, roughly about 30 degrees cooler, and it's obviously going to drop at night. But just wanted to give you an idea, almost sunset time over the mountains here, but kind of what I'm setting up at and what elevation. I think, yeah, we're right around 6,000 feet in elevation. So so yeah, let's get started. So tent went up pretty fast, so probably less than 5 minutes, right? Had the footprint was down. I had that down, laid the tent right on top, took the poles out. The poles it's one big pole that kind of branches off, has two joints on each side, and then you have your centerpiece that holds the dome up. You get one side in, the other side in, and pretty easy, and bend it up and clip on the tent to the poles. So this is kind of why I bought the tent. I didn't want to keep track of 3 or 4 different poles. I believe my Camp Dome tent had 3 poles. It had 3 poles. This is just one giant pole that kind of branches off from one another. And then I also got it because of the mesh. If you're in a nice private area, it's kind of nice to be able to sleep and have it wide open like this if the weather's nice. There might be some rain tonight, so I'm going to put up the Rainfly, and you guys can see how that goes on. But I really like that. It's a very nice mesh. It looks like it'll hold up pretty well. But ideally, the reason why I really like the mesh siding and the way I bought this tent was because I do like to look at the stars and stuff at night. Sometimes I take astrophotography at night, so it's kind of nice just to be able to look up and see where the stars are and things like that, so you can take the pictures. And also for ventilation, you know, in Arizona sometimes, depending on where you're camping, it can be a little bit warm, so having a breeze come through and that option is available. So you can also set up just the Rainfly without the actual tent. If you're looking for an ultralight setup, and that way you can just lay on the footprint on your sleeping pad and sleeping bag right underneath. Hopefully if there's not too many bugs, but that's another option. And then also if you do go that setup, if it's raining, you could put the Rainfly up first, take the tent, get that underneath, and then load the tent up underneath the Rainfly so it keeps water out. So having that option was really cool, because I don't have that for my current tent. So you know, again, these guys put a lot of detail, Hyke and Byke, on, you know, how they wanted to design the tent, and you know, overall it kind of reminds me of some of the MSR tents and things of how the setup is. But so far so good. So let's go ahead and get the Rainfly up. Okay guys, so Rainfly's up. It took me a tad bit longer, which wasn't that long, but it looks like there's two different clips at the bottom. You can select whether you want to higher up or lower down. I went with the lower down. Well, I started up higher up and then I decided to go lower down. I didn't push the stakes down all the way yet, but this little aluminum press thing right here, phenomenal. Those stakes are kind of sharp, so having this thing made it a lot easier. Luckily, the ground was reasonably soft, maybe from the rain, but I can tell, you know, having a hard ground, which is pretty common in Arizona, having something like that, a tool like that, is very helpful. So just to give you guys an idea here, I'm going to kind of zoom in and give you an idea with the camera and kind of give you some features of the tent. So first thing is, you have two vestibules. I have one here on this side and there's one on the other side, okay, because the tent does have two doors. I haven't put up the guy lines yet. It's not really windy right now. I don't know if I'm going to put them up. I'll have my gear in there anyway. Should keep it weighed down, but you can see the guy lines attachments right there. And then also they have these little vent pieces right here. So with the vents, they're optional to open them or close them. They have like a little plastic tab in there, which is nice if you want a little extra ventilation, and if it's cold out and you're worried about condensation and so forth, having a little bit of ventilation is nice. It keeps it a little bit more dry in there. But yeah, there's one of those vents on each side. The tent, as far as the Rainfly, just make sure you match it up with the vestibule doors, or the zippers. Need to make sure they match up with the doors, because it kind of looks like you can go either way, and then you realize that the zippers don't fit onto the doors right. So so yeah, just the stitching lines up at the top really help kind of show you how you should lay the Rainfly on. I mean, it's pretty much 50-50 chance there of where you have that. Second thing is I think you get 12 stakes, so I use, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 right now, and of course if you set up the guidelines and all that stuff, you'll use the rest of them. But they're really sturdy. I mean, I was pushing pretty hard and didn't even bend or anything, so that's a good thing. I know my Camp Dome stakes would, if the ground was hard enough, you push down and they were just the metal pole one stakes, and so they would just bend. Plus they were a lot heavier than these aluminum ones, so that's a plus. So third thing is when I was putting up the Rainfly, is looking into the tent. So they have a nice little silver reflective beam on the vestibule, like for the entryway, which is good if you're in the middle of the night and you have like a headlamp on and need to be able to see how to get in. You can follow those reflective trimming. There also is waterproofing tape along all the stitching. Right, so that right there shows you what Hyke and Byke has done for a $125 tent, and they're going to go ahead and waterproof it for you with tape lining on all the seams throughout the entire tent and the Rainfly. That's good stuff. So you know, again, what they're doing there, it seems like that they're offering you high quality outdoor gear for what it should cost, right? Not all the markup costs that a lot of these big manufacturers do. So, so yeah, there's the tent, and so far, man, I really like it. I did set it up at home before I came out just to get an idea of how it looks and everything like that. And you know, it's got the 2 mesh pockets on inside the tent for your gear. It's also got the mesh shelving on the top with a little hook too, so you can hook a light or lantern in there. So overall, you know, I have a kind of a deluxe sleeping pad. It's a little bit, it's about the size of a twin, maybe a little bit bigger. That I have a pretty wide torso, so being able to sleep comfortably is important. So I have a bigger sleeping pad, and that's going to fit in there no problem, plus give me extra room for my gear if I don't want to leave it underneath the vestibule. So yeah, guys, Hyke and Byke knocked it out of the park with this thing. I really like the tent, and we'll see how it holds up tonight, and maybe we'll get a little rain and be able to determine how it holds up in the rain. So hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care.